remember, he said, you can't deny it, he said, I do everything for you, you do nothing for me. So that's how he essentially feels. He's paying the bills. I'm here under his good graces, so he can treat me how he wants, including, again, yelling Tuesday night, get down here right now and clean up that mess by the door. Okay? I'm sure the world is filled. I'm sure my father was one of them, filled with even parents. Oh, never mind the fact children don't ask to be born, never asked to be born, but this is my house, and you're living here, and I pay the bills, and I do whatever, so I can treat you how I want to. And I can go back and forth at a whim. I can threaten to throw you out, tell you to just fucking leave, and then say I don't want to leave. I can say you're not allowed to use my computer anymore, and then the next day you can use my computer now. But he does nothing wrong in his eyes. Nothing. And he even said that. I'm a good person. I'm not going to change. I know I'm a good person. You can sit there and hate me all you want. I thought he loved me. I thought he valued my friendship, my company, and that's enough. But it isn't. Even if it's only subconsciously, he resents me. He resents having to drive me places. And the dynamics, just the fact that he can tell me you're not using my computer anymore. He knows he has all the power. That's why when I first got here, and he's like, he knows. He's like, you need to apologize. This is 5 months ago. You need to apologize, Laura, because that's going to be the end of our friendship, and there won't be any calling me. That will be it. You will be cut off from me. And, do I have that power over him? Of course not. He won't. He doesn't give a shit. It's me, and he knows it. Then he'll turn around and accuse me I'm not grateful enough. I'm not appreciative enough. He does everything for me. I do nothing. Breaking my heart more with every hurtful word. Solidifying in my mind that I'm never going to be enough. It's not good enough. I'm not good enough is what you're essentially saying. I'm not perfect enough. I can't live up to your standards. And I foolishly believed you loved me more than that. It's not a he said, she said show. Like you said yesterday morning, thinking everything was going to be okay. It's not going to be okay ever again. This is the final, it's broken my heart for the last time. Like he's never snapped at me. Like I snap at him, it's the end of the world. He goes on a rampage against me. Because in his eyes, what I'm going through, my pain, that again was crying my eyes out to his neighbor who I didn't even know, is irrelevant, because his fact that he's miserable at his job supersedes everything in his mind at all times. So how dare I snap at him and be human, you know? But if he does that to me or whatever, or the last time when he was a total fucking asshole and admitted it the next day to me, when I knew I hadn't done anything wrong, I said, well, I was sick, I didn't feel well, didn't tell you. That's okay, because again, the dynamics, it's his home, his computer, which is why he can say, you're not using my computer anymore, you know? He has all the power. He could tell me if he wanted to. He's mad enough not to. I can't use his TV, but I'm beating him to the punch. I'm not using his computer. When he offered it, I said I don't want it. I'm not even using his TV. Just staying up here, doing nothing. He treats me that way and says he does nothing wrong. I know I'm a good person. I'm not going to get into a he said, she said with you. Again, I know the dynamics all too well. It's typical abuser. You're here under my good graces. I'm paying the bills. I'm paying the mortgage. So I can treat you badly and I'm justified. You know? And he doesn't even view it as treating me badly. And said as much. Putting daggers in my heart and viewing himself as a good person. I'm sure I can only imagine how many people are like that to the people they're abusing. If I'm walking on eggshells, if I'm scanning and making sure I didn't do anything wrong, just going way back, almost 40 years ago, to when my father. And then it turned out, even though it was late, it was after 10, and I thought I'd done nothing wrong, and that I would, you know, and then, get down here right now and clean up that mess by the door. See? Living it all over again. I was supposed to be so grateful that my dad took me in, you know, in his eyes. Joe's the same way. I do everything for you, you do nothing for me. You're not appreciative enough, you're not good enough. Yeah. Break my heart some more, Joe, and I thought you loved me, thought you were my friend, thought you cared. And then, of course, the being nice, and you're supposed to just let it go, and it's fine, or whatever. Again, offering a kindness, as in, you can use my computer, that I wouldn't even have to worry about if I had my own, but, you know, offer me a kindness is not an acknowledgement of that you treated me like shit and being sorry and genuinely not wanting to lose me as a friend, and which is happening. It's just the same old abuser thing. I'm going to be nice now and she needs to just forgive me. She needs, or he just, whoever, you know, you just need to forgive me. Not that I've said sorry, not that I've acknowledged that even if I say sorry, I don't really mean it anyway. You need to just forgive me because I'm being nice to you. I've decided now to be nice to you, even though 2 nights ago it was, get down here right now and clean up that mess by the door, screaming at me from the downstairs. But he's not abusive, right? No, not in his eyes. He's a wonderful person in his eyes, just like Donald. Look, Laura, I'm the most nicest person you'll ever meet in your life. I don't even think Donald said I'm one of. think he said, I am. I'm the nicest person you'll ever meet in your life. This was after 12 years of emotional abuse. And at the 8th year, you're nearly killing me and laughing about it, but he's the nicest person I've ever met. I don't even have to know the signs of abuse. I've uploaded videos a couple months ago where a couple of you recognized it. You recognized what Joe will never acknowledge, that he is abusing me. And he has all the power. That's what turns a fight into, he has all the power. There are people that go back and forth and neither of them has the power. They abuse each other. But this is different. Holding it over my head. I can throw you out. I can take my computer away. I can do this. I can do that. I pay the mortgage. I pay the bills. You're here under my good graces. I can yell at you and it's okay. And then I can demand that you recognize that this is just a he said, she said, and I'm a good person and I don't do anything wrong. And if you snap at me, it's the end of the fucking world and I'm going to go on a rampage against you. But if I snap at you, like it's happened periodically, because I'm human, well, I'm having a bad day at work. You don't know what I go through at work. You don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand. Right? I don't, and I never will. And you resent me for that. Whether or not you admit it, subconsciously, you resent me for that. You resent me for that, period. You have made that perfectly clear in so many words without saying it out loud. And so many things you've said to me, you resent me for that. So if you pull the kind of shit you pulled a couple of months ago, where my viewers who are strangers were recognizing it was abuse, writing me comments, that's abuse. And I say exactly what I did to provoke him into reacting the way he did. See? That is what I do. I give details of exactly what I did. 5 months ago, it was a misunderstanding that I didn't want to, that I thought he wasn't going to let me check my food that I'd purchased. And he's pissed off that I didn't recognize it. Of course I'm going to let you check your food. We just can't do it now. I worked all night. But that wound up being nearly the end of our friendship 5 days after I got here. And then he actually scared me. Because he's screaming and won't do it from a distance. He came up in my face this far away from me. I told him when we've made up or whatever, I said, don't you ever do that again. You don't come up to anyone's face, right? I have never, when my mother has pushed my breaking point and I yell intentionally from a distance so that that person knows. And when I said that to him, he goes, you know I would never hurt you. No, I don't. I don't know anybody wouldn't hurt me when they're 6 inches away from my face, screaming at me, because it's not enough for them to scream at a distance. They want to be up in my face, practically spitting at me to make sure they're intimidating me because they're so enraged. At least if you yell from a distance, you know that that person can't, can't think that you might hurt them. Even if you know you won't hurt them. Somebody's yelling at you from far away like 5 months ago and then needs to be right in your face. So that's intimidation. It's not that I can't hear you from far away. You're going to be right in my face, practically spitting at me, screaming. Okay? That was 5 months ago. in response to me assuming things that were not true. Okay? But in the end, I was the one apologizing to him. Because he said, if you don't apologize to me, it's over with. Our friendship is over. You're going to leave, and that's it. But he'd already said he wanted me out of here, wanted me gone. That was it. 5 months ago. And then when I'm outside, it's like, I really don't want you to leave. So then I went up and hugged him and said I was sorry. And he's like, well, I need, if I want to be forgiven, I need to forgive you. But he didn't actually say he was sorry. He just was the first person to say, I don't want you to leave. That doesn't fly anymore. Seriously. That was when I first got here. That doesn't fly anymore. When there's been repeated things. Never repeat where he's this far away from me, needing to scream in my face instead of scream from a distance. Okay? You think that didn't scare me? When someone's yelling, it's like vicious towards you and they're from a distance, and then they decide they need to run up to you and be in your face. And then I get, I wouldn't hurt you. Why would you think I would? Why do you have the need to come up and run and scream at me in my face instead of from a distance? You're trying to intimidate me. No, I don't know. And I said, no, I don't know. But to him, he does nothing wrong. If I don't like it, just leave. So there's no friendship. There's no friendship ever. If any one party has the attitude, if you don't like it, just leave. I'm not going to change. There's no friendship there. There's no value. He often has said to me, oh, you're just taking advantage of me. You just want someplace to stay for free. Yeah, whatever, Joe. Believe what you want. I'm going to leave. You'll be all alone. And then you realize that I never wanted someplace to stay for free. I actually view you as my best fucking friend. And you're going to treat me that way and not care. Not care. Hold it over my head that you could throw me out at a moment's notice. Not care. Just attribute to what you did to me as a he said, she said. Now, how soon, since I've turned down his offers of kindness, how soon before he turns on me? How soon? Remember, in his eyes, he does nothing wrong. In his eyes, I deserve it. He even said to me, you're mean-spirited, so I don't like mean people, so I'm mean to you. You're not just mean to me, Joe. You do exactly what my father did. Holding it over my head that you can throw me out, repeatedly telling me to leave, and if not telling me to leave, saying if you're not happy here, just leave then. If you don't like me, just leave. Tuesday night, and then he's going on a rampage against me. And then when I go downstairs to get the vacuum, probably because he actually thought, after he'd gone on a rampage with me, and it's after 10 o'clock at night, and I know he's furious with me over the condition of the kitchen Monday night that I don't even know what he's talking about, and then saying that you never clean, you never do anything, and I'm crying my eyes out and saying I do clean because I know, and then it's not good enough. You're not good enough ever. You're not perfect enough for me ever, Laura. And then I'm going downstairs to get the fucking vacuum. Because I like the big one better than the small one. He assumed I was defying him and actually going down on the computer rather than cleaning up the mess he told me to clean at the front door. After that, he screamed from downstairs, get down here right now and clean up this mess. And then he runs downstairs, you're not going on my computer. I'm like, I'm going to get the vacuum. And then he's like, in fact, you're not using my computer anymore at all. Good, Joe, good. I'm not using your computer or your TV or anything. I'm staying up in this room and doing nothing. Staying up in this hot room and doing nothing. Just going down periodically to get some water. That's all. Because I cannot eat, but I have to drink, and I don't want to drink tap water. actually thought that I was running downstairs to go on the computer. Like I would do that after you just screamed viciously at me to get downstairs and vacuum up the door where it gets dirty because I have to go in and out with Omar, which Joe's never had to do. He only has to just get the mail, so he's not used to his front door, it being dirty there, and he can't stand it. But just the fact that he thought I was going downstairs to go on the computer and ran after me, says, "You're not going on my computer." I looked at him like, "I'm not going on your computer, I'm going to get the vacuum." You know? But he made sure to say too, "In fact, you're not using my computer anymore. You're not using it. You're cut off. You're not using it at all." And of course, then when he calms down, it's last night, remember this was Tuesday night, so last night, "You can use my computer now if you want, Laura. And in the morning, I don't really want you to leave." But he's not abusive, right? Not in his eyes. But see, I know the signs, and a couple of my viewers who are strangers recognize the signs. It's abuse. 100% abuse. He even uses the same terminology. It's not good enough. And ridicules my tears. I've cried before, and he goes, "What did the fuck did he say?" I forget what that word is that jerks use if someone's crying to say, "Oh, you're just being a baby," or "You're just whatever." He does indicate to me he doesn't really care. He just wants to view himself as a good person, but doesn't genuinely value